The ladder leans against the wall, and every man likes being tall. The mistress of the lion cage, 30 teeth are hard to gauge. She looks like Lorraine with tattoos all over her body. Don't miss the show again. All over her body. Don't miss the show again. It's carnival we love to see. Who's a freak on the marquee? This jamboree, everybody's favorite. She walks the wire over the pavement, graceful and poised, even though she is drunk. She sits upon the elephant's trunk. Don't miss the show again. Graceful and poised. Don't miss the show again. You miss the show again. She swings in air on the trapeze. She kind of smiles, trying to appease. Step right up and take a peek. She promises not to speak. She'll wave her hands and shake her ass. She dances with class. Don't miss the show again. Ooh, la 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 da. It's cold, but she'll wear her leotard. She's a bright, shiny star. Don't miss the show again. Don't miss the show again. You miss the show. Ooh, you miss the show again.
The name of that song is titled Elephant Girl, and it was written by my special guest, Los Angeles-based Una. My guests are Richard Larson and Jennifer Nice of the band. Welcome to the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Thank you for
Hey,
having
Greg.
us.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. We love being here.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure to have you guys. I was fortunate enough that about 4 weeks ago, you sent me a group of singles. I had not heard of your band, but I loved your music, and I've been playing it every week since you sent it.
Oh, thanks, Greg.
Oh, it's great. And I immediately, when you responded back, Jennifer, I said, I got to have you on the show. And you were so polite to respond in the affirmative. So I was glad to have you here. Tell me a little bit about yourselves. I know that, Richard, you're originally from Chicago, and Jennifer, you're from Bakersfield. How did you guys get together to form Una?
Well, we started in Los Angeles. We have a third bandmate, Eddie B., who's also a native of Los Angeles. We met through Kevin Lincoln, actually. Kevin Lincoln came to a show at the Conga Room in Los Angeles. Then he actually included, this is a former band of ours. It was called Elephonic, lead singer Ann Montone. And I was actually the keyboard player.
Can you imagine that?
I didn't sing yet.
So Kevin came to my studio and goes, Richard, I heard this amazing band, Elephonic. You got to check them out. It's these two girls and a DJ. And I'm like, well, that sounds interesting already. And I had no idea that Jennifer sang. And of course, I went to many of their shows, and Jennifer was behind her keyboard, and she had a little monkey, right? You had a little monkey on your
Oh,
keyboard.
yeah. I used to have a stuffed animal. I had stage fright. So that was one of the reasons why I had to work through that before I could actually sing as a front man, front person. But yeah, no, the monkey, that's a good memory. I didn't even remember that. The monkey helped me get through it. So yeah. And after that, I said, I really would like to learn how to produce. And I asked Richard to be my mentor of sorts, my producer teacher, and because I had heard a lot of his music and I really admired it. And it was under the Mighty One. And that's how it all began. Richard said,
basically, Ann Montone and Jennifer and Eddie B walked through my front door one day. And then I was co-producing The Blueprint with Kevin Lincoln at KCRW. So I had a little bit of background on radio, what goes on behind the microphone. We produced Eliphonic's first single, and then the band kind of went to sort of a hiatus for a while. And Jennifer came to me with this song called Hate. And I said, well, I sat in your car, I think. We listened to it on a cassette. And the lyrics went, I hate, and I hate to hate you. And I went, wow, that's pretty cool. So I set it up in the manner of what I heard on the cassette, and I invited Jennifer back and had a microphone set up. I said, oh, just go in the other room. You'll hear the downbeat and everything. And so
I told Richard, this is just for demo purposes. I'm not going to be the final singer on this song.
Right. But anyway, so I hit record, of course, because you can't miss anything. Within the first 10 or 15 seconds, I jumped up from my chair. I went into the next room where the microphone was, and I said to myself, I think I'm the luckiest guy on the planet to hear this wonderful voice. I was just enthralled with Jennifer's voice, and it's always been that way. So,
oh, thanks.
That was the beginning of Una.
Yeah, and at first we wanted it to kind of be like a Brazilian / Latin hybrid with electronic beats. I'm half Colombian. Eddie B, when he's brought it, he's Mexican, and we have a love for house music, and a lot of house music has like a kind of like a Latin beat to it. So we thought this would be the genre that we were aiming for. But as you probably listened to, we go all over the place. We go where the song wants us to go.
I think that describes your music about as well as I could have come up with something like that on my own. That is just a great way to describe it. And we should point out, too, that your third band member, Eddie B, plays turntables, which adds to the unique sound that Una has. Your voice, though, what a discovery. Your voice is beautiful.
Aw,
and these
thanks.
songs, that you bring life to these songs. And I wanted to ask you, do you write as well as produce your own music?
Yes.
Like every song has a story, actually, when I start to thinking about it. Some people will say, oh, well, who wrote this and who did that? And we do everything together. We arrange and produce and write. The songs have a lot of different inspirations, but we really just focus on one song at a time. We don't usually work on an album. We're just working on each track is kind of like its story unto itself.
That's great. Let's do a second song. How about Heal Him Now? Sound good?
That sounds great.
The scratches are bleeding again. Friend of mine, it's one road away. We can try to ease his pain. Heal him now, heal him now. He's cold and makes no sound. Heal him now, heal him now. Can't see the wounds, they can't be bound. We bandage him, but injury remains. Heal him now, heal him now. Tears on his pillow, these tears have dried. Heal him now, heal him now. Can't see the arrow inside.
Now that the band hit the big time, you guys are really getting your sound out there. I'm reading a lot of great reviews. A lot of the stations are commenting on your music. I can understand where you're going with this. What is next now that pretty much out of the pandemic? Are you going to be touring, or do you stay pretty well based in Los Angeles for the time being?
We'd love to tour. Hey, who wants us? We'll come play.
We actually,
We do have a great setup when we do play out. We haven't played out in a little bit, but we're going to get our feet wet in July. We'll get back out there. We have a show in July.
it takes about, like, even right now, this is the beginning of July, and if we were looking for booking, I don't think we'd even find anything till October. So for those out there that are in this side of the music stuff, boys and girls, ladies and gents, producers, you're all producers and making your own music. And I just simply love the indie music scene. I have been completely enthralled by what I've heard in the last 2 months. A lot of great bands are coming out. What I like to hear is the music side of it. There's a lot of songwriting going on. I like that a lot. Yeah, we're completely set up to do live touring. We set up this highfalutin technology thing. We can pass music around to each other. It's very interesting.
Your music is well produced. That's the thing that I noticed about it. It's crystal clear. You've really done a good job on the production of this. It makes it sound like you've got Ricky Ricardo's band behind you.
Yeah, that sometimes, I don't know. I don't want to say it's audiophile. We take every single kinds of boutique gear. Yeah, we both want, to exude some of the qualities that, like Jennifer and I talk about artists from a long time ago, what they did and the sound and all that. So we really got into that quite a lot. And then we have a small group of people around us that are good at, there's little things in the audio world that, there's things to learn all the time. Like Jennifer's saying about production. I mean, nobody's, as far as I know, is an expert, and we hear about things all the times to think about, but we don't jump around too much with, the idea is to create a stage, kind of like, and that the elements exist on the stage and that you can hear everything, and that it all I guess serves the music, and the music is the most important thing.
Let's point out to your catalog. The most recent is your latest album called Noise of the Wing, 2018. In 2018, it's Hiss for the Fly.
That's right.
The Laughing Man was one prior to that, and then first one was called One. They can hear your music on all the outlets. Of course, purchase it as well. That's the most important thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you've had a new release that came out in April. Let's listen to that right now. That's called Dandelion.
Dandelions in spring always remind me of you. All it takes is one small wind and everything floats away. Dandelions in spring always remind me of you. All it takes is one small wind and everything floats away. We danced until the dawn. The music never died. Our feet were sore, our hearts were swelled, but nobody said goodbye. We glided through the night, tired but happy to be. We moved and laughed on western sands, pretending to be carefree. Dandelions in spring always remind me of you. All it takes is one small wind and everything floats away. What we see will pass, wondering what's likely to stay. I will love to see the end when everything turns to clay.
I've got a question for you. Of course, on your website, which, by the way, I want to point out is a great website. That is unamusic.net. The little girl playing the piano on there, that is just incredible. I love that. Where did you come up with that idea?
We were inspired by some vintage Valentine's Day cards
It-
that we found.
Yeah, so we had a friend, she had all this stuff from the 30s and 40s when, like, printing and, like how, I don't know what the proper word is, but when cards are like cut out, there's got like frilly edges and stuff. And Greg, it was just that kind of getting us out of the present, conversation, which is about a lot of important things, which we all support. If you knew us a little better, you'd know, how important that is to us. The reference to this other time frame where it was kind of a little bit more innocent or more playful. Anyway, that's where a lot of that stuff came from.
That, and you have just what I can already tell just in our conversation and looking at your website is an incredibly good sense of humor, both of you.
I
Which,
hope so. We kind of need it in this business.
oh, that's what everybody tells me in my interviews. It's a tough business to make it in right now. Kind of makes me glad I'm retired. Anyway, I'd be amiss if I didn't ask you, because something that just absolutely captivated me is your constant referral in your website in the names of your music and your albums. Tell me a little bit about The Wing of the Fly. I'm just dying to hear how that came
Well,
about.
it's a trilogy. The plan was mapped out a long time ago. We wanted to do 3 releases in a row. So what you're hearing when we release singles is from an upcoming album called The Look in Their Eyes, and that's going to feature the eyes of the fly. And that's the last of the 3 references of our albums that refer to the fly. Why the fly? Well, at the beginning of it all, we were thinking, what's a little in your face, but resilient? What represents the last thing that might survive an apocalypse? What represents the circle of life? The fly kept coming back to us. And it's such an ugly insect, but if you take it apart, it's beautiful. There's a prism on the wing. The eyes have prisms. It's a magnificent insect.
I think, and if you consider the time, so we're talking, this started in 2016. So Hiss for the Fly, Noise of the Wing, and then the one that all these singles that we're releasing will be part of our LP coming out that will be called The Look in Their Eyes. And that will probably feature another fly, but I think
that'll be the eye of the fly.
Yeah. And I think Jennifer's, how do you feel about that, Jennifer?
Well, I'm done with the fly. I'm done using the fly in all our artwork. We do want to follow through with this last collection because we love the concept of just all the parts of the insect, kind of really taking a deep dive and analyzing what does it really mean to us and why did we use it to represent Una. Yeah, we kind of want to be the last man standing. Yeah. So hopefully we'll just be resilient in this business and just keep writing no matter what, releasing no matter what.
So we have, let's see, was it September, November of 2021, we released Time Zone, right, Jen?
Yeah, that was definitely of the times because we were dealing with everything Zoom, everything virtual, everything at home.
Oh, yeah. And then the whole punch of the last 2 years of just everything kind of disappearing for a while. That was Time Zone. And then after that, we released, It's Okay.
That was definitely at the height of, where people felt a little bit different from others, especially at the Thanksgiving table. You knew that politically you weren't going to all agree on everything. And how do you deal with that? You love your family.
So that was in January.
Yeah, exactly. Together with them.
That was January, February of 22. And then midpoint in 22, we released Dirty Habits, which I thought they're like little babies we push out the door. And, we love college radio and KSVR. It's a great station. And I think your fans are very fortunate to hear what you're doing. You're playing a lot of artists that I like, Tommy Emmanuel, Roy Orbison, some people I know peripherally, the Chambers Brothers. I remember R.L. Burnside coming to L.A. and doing a show. I love the sound of Ludwig Wainwright's voice. What a voice. Yeah, like putting these babies out the door. And we have, how many do we have? We have, I think, 4 or 5 songs we haven't released.
Yeah, I think we're at the end of releasing singles soon. I think we have one more before we release the full length.
Yeah, Seraglio maybe.
Yeah, we're still debating on which one's the right song for the right time. For that, we're releasing the full length, and then hopefully we'll get to share that with you too at KSVR.
Oh, please remember me. I will play the music. I know I will because I love it so much.
Thank you, Greg.
My special guests today are Richard Larson and Jennifer Nice of the Los Angeles-based band Una, and that's just UNA. They have a new album out that we'd like to talk to you about. Make sure that you go to all the sources that you can get so that you can listen to it. That is called Noise of the Wing. please look at their website, which is Una Music, and that's unamusic.net. Their Facebook site is called facebook.com, the music of UNA. They have a Tumblr site, which is tumblr.com/UNA music. Tell me one last thing as we go out the door about Cool Jewel Records.
Okay, so I guess that's my thing. Jennifer and I formed Una Music as a company, and then we have a publishing arm for all our music. Basically, we own all our music, which is kind of unusual. We decided to start a record label for one band, us. But
yeah, I mean, Richard had this great idea to collaborate with other remixers, have our music remixed by some of the greats. We have Nightmares on Wax, Grant B, Herbalizer, Kenneth Pattengill from the Milk Carton Kids, Charles Webster,
Grant B.
And it's been, it was such an adventure to put together the Laughing Man Remix LP, but we also needed protection because now we're dealing with other artists using samples and remixing our music, and then us trusting that everyone's operating legally. So
basically on the name, I think we just kind of made that name up.
Cool Jewel Records. No, you actually have your collections that you used to release, your playlists.
Yeah. It started out as the name of a hard drive, I think.
Yeah, he nicknames all his hard drives.
There's Alfie and Lucy.
You both not only are tremendous artists and producers, but you're good business people. I think that's really a good move to have your own record label. And if others join you, that'd be wonderful. If not, as you say, the protection is there that you need, and many artists aren't looking ahead of that. My special guests today, Richard Larson and Jennifer Nice. They're of the Los Angeles-based band called Una. Listen to their music. I know I'm playing a lot of it. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today. I really appreciate you joining me. You talked a little bit about Time Zone, and let's go out with that song. Does that sound great?
Thanks,
that would
Greg.
be great. Thank
you so much.
Just me and my fear. My feet are up, listening to beats. Wish you were near. Loving from afar, never easy. Time zones always there, messing with me. Days keep dragging on indefinitely. How long it's been, too many screens, so quiet here. I wanna scream, wake me up from this dream. Loving from afar, never easy. Time zones always there, messing with me. Days keep dragging on indefinitely. Trapped in place, each week the same.